Carol, in the Mail, fears of a summer of riots as clashes spread to Norfolk Asylum Hotel. So this is off the back of the Epping situation, where there was apparently an asylum seeker charged over a sexual assault alleged. And now it's spread. We're going to get another rioting in the summer.
Well, but this is what happens when you ignore the legitimate concerns of the people in your country about illegal immigration. And I don't know about you, but this country feels like a powder keg to me at the moment, and has done for quite a few weeks. And I think we will have riots because people's fears are being ignored. The Epping thing started off as a peaceful protest by parents in the area because a hotel called the Bell Hotel had been taken over as a migrant hotel. Now, the Bell Hotel is very close to a school. One of the people who is alleged to have been assaulted is a young girl. And there were 3 alleged assaults on people in that area by an asylum seeker within a week of him getting to that area. Now, if you were a parent living in Epping, you would be very concerned for your child, bearing in mind that the school is next to this migrant hotel. So what are parents expected to do? On the one hand, people are being slated as anti-migrant for protesting. On the other hand, what are parents supposed to do about their kids? They want to protect their kids. And news of these assaults is spreading nationwide. What are people supposed to do? What happened with Epping was a lot of anti-racist groups.
It's odd that attacking the police seems
But I mean, I would think that
quite thick.
When the parents... remember, whenever there's any kind of protest, you get idiots coming in from the outside who've got nothing to do with it. They're not involved. They're the ones who cause the bother, not the actual people protesting. But, you know, I can see that in areas where you have terrified parents, I can see that there will be riots.
James, do you think?
Yeah, I'm listening, and I agree with a lot of what Carol's just said. I mean, parents have a right to be concerned, to be worried. The issue I've got is that this has been hijacked, or as a lot of these protests are, by people they're not there to protect women and girls. They're there because they're racist and they don't want these people in our country. And this is what happens when politicians, desperate for votes, dehumanise migrants, and the media paint them as rapists and murderers. This is what happens. You get people trying to set fire to hotels full of migrants.
James, do you think it's racist if people object to uncontrolled immigration?
No,
it isn't racist.
No. That's not my point. My point isn't the peaceful protests. I've got no issue with that. But what I take umbrage with is people setting fire to hotels, terrifying migrants. A lot of these people are coming over here because they're fleeing wars.
No, they're not. A lot of the people coming here are economic migrants, which has been proved time and time again.
But they have a right to be here.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do have a right to be here.
They came here illegally.
They're not.
They didn't have a right to be here.
They're not illegal.
Yes, they are.
At this point, there will be lots of people we don't know whether they've got a right or not. They've arrived and they'll be, at some point, processed. That's true. So we can't say they're illegal, and we can't say they've got a right to be here.
They came here illegally. You know, we cannot sustain the numbers that are now coming here because of the strain on our housing, our education, our infrastructure generally. We cannot afford people coming here in their tens of thousands every year in this country. So we're going to have the highest migrant population in Europe in the next 2 years because we have no controls to stop people coming in. I thought
being an island meant you did have control. This is what I don't get about our situation.
But it would be very, you can control immigration in a heartbeat. You can actually leave the ECHR. You can withdraw from the Refugee Convention of 1951, which means that people coming here illegally they don't have a right to claim asylum. We can actually detain them.
Well, that is the next election Carol's describing. There's going to be, unless something big happens, James, everything is going to be about that for the next election.
Yeah, but this assumes that all migrants are lazy and just come here for an easy life, and that's simply not true.
Most of them coming here can't speak English. Tell me how they're going to help.
What's speaking English got to do with anything? We moved to Spain. We moved to Spain in vast numbers and don't speak the language.
If you're going to contribute to a society,
they're more likely to become entrepreneurs. They're more likely to pay more tax, and they're more. Yes, they are.
Have you seen any film from the Calais camps? Have you seen any film? I just saw a piece 2 days ago from the Calais camps. These people are not coming here here to work. Trust me on that. They're coming here illegally on boats because they know that the pull factor of Britain, they stay in France, they get nothing. They get put in an old warehouse. You come to Britain, you get houses, you get healthcare.
You get £7.50 a day and no benefits.
I'm sorry, you don't. Maybe that's what you get for your spending money. But on top of that, you get your housing, you've got your education, you've got your healthcare. You get put somewhere rent-free to live. I'm sorry.
Go on, let James say.
No, but this is exactly what I'm talking about, and this is the sort of language that whips up hate and causes people to go and attack migrants and burn hotels down.
Uncontrolled immigration.
Nobody wants uncontrolled migration, but we're talking about less than 3% of migration is coming over on these small boats.
Tell me who's going to pay for it. Well, we have a housing crisis in this country currently for the people who live here. How in God's name are we going to support an extra 100,000 people?
I understand. Sorry, one more thing on this, right? You're absolutely right to be angry. I understand why people are angry, but they're angry at the wrong people. It's not. You shouldn't be angry at the migrants. You've got to be angry at the government. There is no safe.
Angry at the government.
Absolutely, take it up with the government. It's not their fault. They have every right to. They have every right to be here.
They don't have every right to be here.
We signed a convention where they're allowed to come here.
On a small island, all of sub-Saharan Africa. We can't.
Who's saying all of Africa's coming?
You don't think?
But what about Albania, James?
You don't think they're on the way?
The Albanians
we
didn't have a right to be here.
Listen, we need a safe right of passage. We need a way of processing people correctly. But at the moment, there is no process involved. There's a backlog of hundreds of thousands of people. It's costing billions in hotel bills. That's not their fault.
But you would just say we're full.
I don't think we're full, but I think we're going to be full. And I think the British people are angry because their money is paying for people to live here who come here illegally. And I think that this country is in a powder keg situation, and I think that we will have a summer of riots.
Well, yeah, summer of riots again.
I think
My goodness.